Hello students, welcome again. This is Vikas Sharma. So today we will start chapter number 2, polynomials of class 9th. So before start polynomials, you should know what is an expression is. Now, expressions are mathematical statements which written without equality sign. So expressions are mathematical statements which are written without equality sign. So here I will tell you an example. Say 2x plus 3. So this is an expression. If I will put here equal to 0, then this become an equation. So without equal to sign, any mathematical statement is known as an expression. Now what is mathematical statement? So mathematical statements involves three things. Which are they? It involves alphabets, it involves numbers, it involves mathematical operations, okay, like plus, minus, multiply, divide. Alright, so here let us check. In these expressions we have numbers, we have alphabet, and also we have mathematical operation. Understood? So we can say this is an expression. Let us take a few more examples. Say 4x square plus 5y, 7x raised to power minus 1 plus 6, then 10a raised to power 1 upon 2 minus 9b plus c. Done. So here you can see all these are an expressions because we have not put here equal to sign. Okay, now let us check what is the meaning of 4. What is 4 here, and what is x here, and what about 5 and y? So here you can check. In the first expressions we have only 2 terms, in the second expressions also we have 2 terms, and in the third expressions we have 3 terms. Understood? Now we know in expressions terms are separated by plus or minus sign. All right, with the help of plus or minus we can separate the terms. So here we have 3 terms in the third expression from this. Now let us check what is 4. So 4 is coefficient. 4 is, this is coefficient of x square, whereas x is variable, 5 is coefficient of y, and y is also the variable. Similarly here also you can check 7 is coefficient of x, whereas 6 is constant, because see the constant term has what, beta? It has no variable, so you can write x raised to power 0. Okay, anything power 0 will remain only 1. Now let us check what is 2 here. So 2 is the power of this expression. Now the first term the power is 2, and here for the second term the power is 1. In the second example you can check what is the power of first term. So the power of first term is minus 1, whereas to the next term the power is 0. Why power is 0? Because it is constant here. Similarly in the next example you can check the power is 1 upon 2, whereas in the second term power is nothing but 1. And here again c is what? This is not constant term because this is alphabet, and we know that alphabet is what? That is variable because it does not have any fixed value. So here also we will take the power as 1. Understood? Now I hope you understood what is the expression is. Now come to the polynomial. Now what is polynomial? So polynomials are the expressions in which all the powers of the variables are a whole number. So polynomials are also the expressions, but which expression? In which the power of the variables are whole number. So what are whole numbers? So all positive numbers starting from 0 are whole number, or you can say natural numbers including 0 are whole numbers. Alright, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all are whole numbers. So let us check from these examples, are all polynomials or not. Now check the first one. Here in this example, the power of first term is what, beta? Nothing but 1. The power of next term is constant, and we know that constant has no variable, so you can write here x raised to power 0, because we know that constant has 0 as a power. So 0 and 1 is a power, so 0 and 1 are both whole numbers, and if the powers are whole number, then we will consider that expression as polynomials, right? Now come to the next example. In the next example, if you check the first term, the power of first term is 2, whereas the power of second term is 1. So 2 and 1 both are whole number. If the variable's power is whole number, again we will consider that as a polynomial. Now check the next example. The power of first term is -1 and the power of other term is 0. Why 0? Because this is also constant term. So -1 and 0. So 0 is whole number, but -1 is not a whole number. And if the power is not whole number, then we will not consider that as a polynomial. So this example is not polynomial. Now come to the next one. In the next, again the first term is what, beta? 10a raised to power 1 upon 2. So 1 upon 2 is also not a whole number, and if this is also not a whole number, whether the other terms contain whole number, it doesn't matter. Okay, if one of the term contain other than whole number as a power, then also we will not consider that expression as a polynomial. I hope this part is clear to all. So I will repeat again. The expressions are mathematical statements which are written without equality sign. So what is mathematical statement? So mathematical statements includes three things. Which are they? Alphabets, all alphabets, and mathematical statements as well as the numbers. Okay, so expression contain all these mathematical statements. All right. And what about the polynomials? So polynomials are also an expressions, but which expression? In which the power of the variables are whole number. If the power is not whole number, then we will not consider that as a polynomial. Understood? Okay, students. Now we will discuss remainder theorem. So before starting remainder theorem, let me give you one example. Now, say 9 divided by 4. Then 4 2 ja 8 and remainder will be, okay. Now here, what is 9? 9 is dividend. What is 4? So 4 is divisor. What about 2? 2 is quotient. And what about 1? 1 is a remainder. Understood? Now we know that so 9 is the product of a divisor and quotient, which is 4 and 2, and the addition of a remainder. Understood? 4 to the 8 plus 1 will give 9. So here we can write, instead of 9, you can write here dividend is equal to, what is 4? 4 is divisor, into what is 2? 2 is quotient, and plus what about 1? 1 is a remainder. Understood? So from this we will get the formula that dividend is equal to the product of divisor and quotient and the addition of remainder into that. So in this chapter, the dividend is represented by P of x, whereas divisor is represented by G of x or S of x. Okay. And what about the quotient? Quotient is represented by Q of x, whereas the remainder is represented by R of x. So instead of dividend, I can write P of x is equal to, divisor is Z of x, you can write any of one, into what is quotient? The quotient is Q of x plus remainder is R of x. Understood? So you can write P of x is equal to G of x into Q of x plus R of x. Understood? Now let us take one example of the equations. Now here we will take one more example, but in this example we will take the polynomial. Now how to find the remainder? Okay, how to find the remainder of this polynomial with the help of remainder theorem. So the first of all, check here we have g of x. So g of x is what with a divisor? It is simply divisor. So what to do? While finding this, we will find the value of x first. So consider g of x as 0. Consider g of x as 0. This is the first step. Now write down what is g of x. This is x plus 1 equal to 0. Now what is the value of x? X become minus 1. When we are shifting one positive 1 on other side, that becomes minus 1. So the value of x is minus 1. Now take polynomial p of x, that 3x square plus x minus 1. Now here what is written? P of x. So what is the value of x here? The value of x is negative 1. Substitute the value. So what is the value of x? Minus 1 is equal to 3 minus 1 raised to square plus, instead of x again write minus 1 and minus 1. So always remember, whenever you are substituting any value, at that time use bracket. Now what is the value of p of minus 1? So 3, open the bracket. So minus 1 square becomes 1 only, plus minus minus 1 and minus 1. Now 3 1 are 3, minus 1 minus 1. 3 minus 1 becomes 2 minus 1, and this is 1. So what is this? This is nothing but the remainder only. This is the remainder of this polynomial. Understood? So how to find beta? Remember, instead of g of x, you will put 0 and find the value of x. And after that, substitute that value in polynomial p of x. And by substituting the value of x, you will get at last the remainder only. Isn't it? Thank you.